Martinelli off the bench is amazing. Saka needs to be rotated ASAP. Saka needs to run more, a lot more crosses in this match. Again, maybe you play Martinelli on the left and you put Trossard on the right. I mean, maybe that's an option here as opposed to dropping one of those two. Maybe you do that. You have someone that like Trossard that can go on the outside, because there's a few times today where I think Saka had the chance to get the ball in and he cut back again. And I know he's not as bad as him, but he gives me Anthony vibes when he does that. It's like, bro, just cross the ball. Just cross it. Don't let your team set.
I think that's a great shout, Tel, because one of the other complaints that I have about Arteta is, when he's playing players when they're out of form, or he's benching players that are in form, and then wondering why they're not performing when he asks them to come in and do a job. Like, for example, at the beginning of the season, Trossard, especially in pre-season, he was easily our best player. And then it comes to the start of the season and he's on the bench and Martinelli's playing. So, yeah, that could be an option, definitely. Maybe it's time to give Saka a little bit of a rest. And while you've got two players that are performing, why not? Why not?
What about Andrew Smith Rowe? Because I thought he had a decent substitute. Even he didn't light the world on fire, but better than Havertz for me.
Much better than Havertz, yeah. I was going to say Smith Rowe is a breath of fresh air in that midfield, because oh my god, I can't be asked with this Havertz guy, because he's like a non-entity in that midfield. Every time he gets the ball, he plays it safe. He plays it backwards. It's honestly like having two midfielders on the pitch. And I've had a problem with him the entire season, because even I thought that Arteta had learned his lesson, like after the 1 win in 7 and the lack of chance creation, that he would just drop Havertz and just tell him to play for, if you want to play him, get him off the bench, play him up top, because that's for me where he's at his best. Smith Rowe, he's like the only player on our team that's able to receive in the middle of the pitch on the turn and drive in between the lines in space, because we don't have that ability to do that in our team. And he found and connected with Martinelli so many times, and it allowed Martinelli to get into the game much more. And I hope to God that he starts more, because just Havertz is just.
I think it's a great. I think it's a great shout. As I say, I don't think Havertz was bad today, but what did he do? What did he do in the game? Did he move the needle at all? It's almost a little bit of a passenger out there. This is please bring Kate on. She is talking a lot about Arsenal fans being deluded, and we was not in the title race, and how Spurs can finish above us. Kate's got the link. She's in the group chats. I've messaged her on WhatsApp asking her to come on. I don't know if Kate will, but she's
Kate is actually too funny, Tel. You know that. The fact that she called him fraud Teta, this fraud has done something your club and no manager at your club has been able to do for the last 15 years. Win an FA Cup. He's managed to do that when your manager.
They haven't won an FA Cup since the early 90s, bruv. 30 years.
92 or something.
Hey, you done me, because they're on the League Cup, isn't
it? 30 years, brother. You know what I mean?
They've got like 3 trophies in like 20 years.
Studio Hooks here says, imagine Partey in this team. It could be magical.
Yeah.
How excited are you guys to get in Thomas Partey back into this team? Do you think he's going to have this impact?
Yeah, I was going to say just one thing. I'm starting to kind of, as good as Declan Rice is, he's starting to kind of. I've had an issue with him and his progression on the ball, because this thing that he does, it kind of annoys me. Every time he grabs the ball, instead of just playing a first time pass just quickly, he grabs the ball and he just starts to drive and carry to the person he wants to pass to, rather than just passing it like initially once he has the ball, and it kind of slows us down. As you saw when Jorginho came on the pitch, the tempo started to increase, because the tempo was quite slow beforehand. The tempo increased. We started to generate shots on target, and we were a lot better. Our fluidity in the midfield was a lot better. I don't really like this whole the Rice, Havertz, Odegaard midfield, just in general. Partey in the midfield he'll increase our tempo and we'll just play a lot quicker. A lot more line breaking passes.
I think Partey can make a difference. But what I would say is don't get used to Thomas Partey being here at Arsenal, because I think he'll be gone in the summer. I genuinely do. And I think we're going to have to kind of move away from being reliant on Thomas Partey, because he's so injury prone anyway. He's getting older now. I don't think that he's going to be a long-term fix to that midfield. And I think we're going to have to get used to the whole Declan Rice element. And Arteta's going to have to find a way of, making it more free-flowing, even when you've got Declan Rice, who maybe doesn't progress the ball as well as Thomas Partey. So I think, yes, he could probably make a short impact for this season, but I think he'd be gone in the summer. I really do.
Yeah, you could be absolutely right. Gunnar Sauls, my bro, long time no see, my friend. Hope you're well, man. What did you make of the result today? I saw you in the group chat saying football's easy, and I know you had a bit of banter when you're doing that, bro. But what did you make of your boys today?
Hey, look, they enjoyed Dubai, and I said, look, the pressure's on you guys now, because if you're going to put these pictures out there with your families, with your friends, enjoying your life, especially in the mid-season where you're on the back of, 1 win in 7, you can't go enjoy Dubai and then come back and drop a stinker or a 1-0 or struggle to this Crystal Palace side where there's no Michael Elise, there's no Jordan Ayew, there's none of those players who always constantly causes issues. I needed to see a performance today, and that's what they gave us. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and go, we're papering over cracks, we're doing this, it wasn't a good performance. I actually don't care. I wanted to see goals. I wanted to see them actually put that ball in the back of the net, and they've done it 5 times. I can't ask for anything better. Set piece goal, another set piece goal, a transition goal, a goal that was actually played well, and then another goal to finish it off by your substitutions. And I can't sit here and criticize a part of this performance. Clean sheet. There was only one mistake where Raya, I don't really know what he was thinking, but he kind of went for this pass clearance to Lerma. That could have ended horribly because I wanted a clean sheet. And as bad as Crystal Palace were, we did our job. We made our rivals, at least this weekend for Liverpool playing tomorrow, go, okay, they scored 5. If we can do this maybe 1 or 2 more times, that's going to really make Man City think, that's going to make Liverpool think that, okay, that they might be making that charge at the end of the season that we see the likes of Man City make, that we've seen Liverpool do. And that's what we need to do. We need to start getting our rivals, or at least Liverpool and Man City, to start doubting themselves when they're playing these games. That goal difference is going to matter, that points are going to matter, that they can't drop points because we're putting the runs together now as well. Man City, we know, don't lose many games. We need to match that. We need to put the pressure on both of them and go, you drop points, we're right there. And that's what we did today. These are the performances against the Crystal Palace, against the Nottingham Forest, against those sort of mid-table to lower table teams that we need to be putting our absolute throat to. I'm glad after 1-0, we stepped up the pressure. When it went to 2-0, we stepped up even more. 3-0, we stepped it even more. And the fact that Arteta said, you know what, I'm not going to go 5 back. I'm not going to sit here and observe this clean sheet. He brought Emil Smith-Rowe on. He brought Martinelli on. Then he goes, you know what, I'm going to bring Nketiah on, and I'm going to keep going attacking. The 2 substitutions were by force in terms of bringing Jorginho on and bringing Kiwior on. They were due to injuries. But other than that, he wanted to go for this game. And that's what I need to see more of. I think this was Arteta's smartest game plan other than Man City. He saw that Martinelli could not play this game. They're going to come into this low block. I need technical players. He brought on the likes of Trossard to play that game. Jesus, whether it was a risk or not, that's what we need to see. I need Arteta to be flexible. And today was the first time he trusted his squad and they paid him dividends. So I have no complaints today.
Just on Jesus as well. Did you see how many times he got caught offside today? When have we ever seen Gabriel Jesus getting caught offside for Arsenal? He's normally in midfield. So that just shows as well how much Arteta's let the shackles off, because we've got our striker, our number 9, now playing on the last man, trying to catch them, out. And it allows us to be able to move the ball quicker and play balls over the top.
To be a nerd, you could say it's a creative focal point, not like a target man does as a focal point. It's a creative one because he can shift side.
All right, tactical.
I know. I'm American too.
That's why I pulled the whiteboard out, bro.
I want to ask a question of you gooners on the panel, and of course Steve and everybody watching. What Standard FC going to say about this? Because what they said after the last Premier League game is performances don't matter. It's all about winning. So surely now, today at least, there'll be no complaints from Standard FC because they said that performances are not what sustainability comes from. It's all about winning. So it is. I'm not saying. I'm just throwing it out there. What? Surely all of them on their Twitter accounts, their Insta accounts, if they're content creators, surely they're all going to be buzzing today because winning 5-0 when all that matters is winning means there's zero to complain about. Or am I wrong? Based on their look.
They'll be saying no. They'll be saying that it's simple. You should be beating Crystal Palace. That's exactly what somebody will say. They'll say, "Oh, you should be beating Crystal Palace. Why should I give them credit for beating Crystal Palace?"
To be honest with you, right? People will say I'm probably part of Standard FC or whatever. I don't think anybody should have nobody should have any complaints about today. What they should be saying though is we need to replicate this throughout the rest of the season because let's be real, right? If it was all about winning and performances didn't matter, when you look at the performances this season, I don't think anybody could sit here and say the performances that we were putting out before today were a sustainable way of winning so that we could go on and win a league title. Whereas as the performances that we were putting together last season give you more hope that we could go on and win the league because we was blowing teams out of the water. And that's exactly what we did today. We replicated similar to what we did last season. And if we can keep doing that and keep beating teams in that sort of way, I don't see any reason why we should be complaining at all.
Yeah, obviously my comment is very sarcastic, okay? Because for me, winning is hugely important in sport. But equally, I think you build long-term winning on the back of consistency in performances. So they're both important. What I found mad 2 weeks ago is that for 3 years, all I've heard that sort of football fans say is winning without a good performance is not sustainable. And suddenly for Arsenal, you were pretty good in some of your defeats recently, but you just didn't score and then you got caught out. Suddenly winning is all that matters. Performances are irrelevant. And I couldn't believe the U-turn that I'd seen from people for over the years. So of course there's still going to be frustrations from them today because in reality, then it isn't just about winning each individual game because to be able to do that, there has to be a sustainable performance. We all understand that, but people pick and choose when they want to spout it because of course agendas have got an agenda, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it's funny, really. It only came up today because my dog trainer doesn't watch football that much, but she's thinking of launching a YouTube channel. I told her I did YouTube. She's been watching my channel. She brought it up. But I don't understand that. I've watched some of your streams and they say this, but then people say that. How does this work? I said, that's your football fans for you. We're mental.
Fans is short for fanatic.
So a non-football fan been watching some of my content and was like, I didn't understand how 1 minute somebody says this, the next minute they say that. I burst out laughing. She's like, what? I said, I'm actually so amazed that you've actually noticed that. So yeah, people see it. It's crazy to me. It's so funny. We have some more super